مرحبا وأهلا بكم. Welcome to lesson number 9. 3 new letters today. First, حرف الجيم. Jeem. We write a jeem by drawing an arc like so, a backward arc, and then drawing a half a circle facing to the right, like so. Then we finish it off with a dot inside the circle. So that makes Jeem. Jeem is the equivalent of the letter J. Jeem. Jeem. A jeem is a connecting letter. That's why we write it like so when it's at the end of a word, just like we learned. And we connect it from this part, and we finish it off when it's at the end and it comes after a connecting letter. Now if it's in the beginning, we start similarly, but we don't finish the circle. We keep going. And we add the dot, and that's a jeem. And if it's in the middle, it's the same way, except we connect it to the previous letter. Like so. So that's Jeem. Let's try it in a few words. Okay, Jeem with a fatha is J. Then Waw with a sukoon is U. And then Zain, Z. So that's Jawz. Jawz means walnut. Jawz. Jawz. Next word, Jeem with a kasra this time, so it's G. And then Sin with a sukoon, so S. And then Ra, R. So this makes Jisr. Jisr, which means bridge. Jisr. Jisr. Now Ra with a kasra is Ri. Jeem with a sukoon, which is no vowels, is J. And then Lam, L. So this is Rijl. Rijl. A leg. Rijl. Remember, we learned the word yad for hand. So hand is yad. A leg is Rijl. Yad wa Rijl. That's hand and leg. Yad, Rijl. Now this next letter might be very hard to pronounce for English speakers. Ha. Ha. It's not your regular H. It's an H that comes from deep inside your throat. Ha. Ha. You need to practice that a lot. Ha. Ha. And because it doesn't have an equivalent in the Latin script that is used in English, we're going to use the number 7 to represent the sound ha. Ha. We write it exactly like a jeem. Exactly, just without the dot. That's ha. Ha. It's a connecting letter, and we write it everywhere like a jeem without the dot. This is at the end of a word after a non-connecting letter. This is after a connecting letter at the end of the word. And this is in the beginning of a word or after a non-connecting letter. And in the middle after a connecting letter. This is how you write it. Okay, a few words. Ha with a kasra is Hi. Mim, followed by an alif without a hamza, is Ma. And finally Ra, R. So this is Himar. Himar, which is a donkey. Himar. Himar. Okay, how about you pause the video now and try to read this new word on your own. Okay, so now after resuming the video, let's try to read this word together. A sin with a fatha is S. S. And then ha, followed by an alif without a hamza, which is a long vowel, is ha. Ha. And then a ba, b. That makes sahab. Sahab, which is clouds. Sahab. Sahab. This is a toughie to pronounce, watch out. Mim with a kasra is mi. Lam with a sukoon is l. And then a ha is h. So this is ملح, salt, ملح, ملح, ملح. Our last letter is a Khaa. We write it exactly like a Jeem with a dot on top. Khaa. It's a sound that you might hear in German, in Hebrew, Yiddish, and other languages. It's Kh, Kh, Kh. We're gonna use KH to represent the letter Kha. Kh, Kh. Okay. And a connecting letter again, exactly like a Jeem, except it has a dot on top of it. Kh, Kh. At the end after a connecting letter, like so, and a dot on top. Kh. And in the beginning, like so, with a dot on top, and in the middle, we connect it after a connecting letter, like this, a dot on top, and that's Kh, Kh. Okay, again, pause the video and try to read this on your own. Okay, let's read it together now. Kha with a fatha is Kh, Kh. Ara, followed with a waw, without a modifier, which makes it a long vowel, is Ru, Ru. And finally a fa for F, that makes Kharoof, Kharoof, which is a sheep. Kharoof, Kharoof. Kha with a fatha is Kh. A waw with a sukoon is U. And then Kha, Kh. So this makes Khawkh, Khawkh, which is peach. Khawkh, Khawkh. Okay. A meme with a dhamma is Mu. And a Kha is Kh, which makes Mukh, Mukh, which means brain. Mukh, Mukh. Summing it up, we learned 3 new letters: Jeem, Ha, and Kha. All 3 are connecting letters, and we learned 9 new words: Jawz, Jisr, Rijl, Himar, Sahab, Milh, Kharoof, Khawkh, Mukh. If you like the music played in the background of this lesson, it's a song called كل ده كان ليه for نجاة الصغيرة and composed by Muhammad Abdul Wahab. Thank you and see you in lesson number 10.